things that are essential to working effectively with people that are different from yourself. 4 things to focus on. And the first thing, or the first category, is knowledge. And knowledge is defined as the extent to which an individual possesses information about others from diverse backgrounds and cultures. And knowledge is made up of 2 components, stereotypes and information. So basically, when you meet someone different, you work with someone different, the first thing you want to gain about them is a bit of knowledge. Now the question is, how are you getting your knowledge about people that are different from you? How are you doing it? Well, really there are just about 2 ways you can get information about someone that's different from you. You can use stereotypes, or you can get factual information. So let's just talk about stereotypes for a moment. Now, can you all just give me a simple definition for the word stereotype? How would you define the word stereotype? A stereotype is what? A generalization, or an assumption that you make about a person or a group of people, and it's usually based upon a characteristic that they possess, right? Something that you can observe about them. And so what are some examples of things or traits that we use to stereotype people? In other words, people get stereotyped based on what? Their clothing, age, size, gender. Keep going. Race.
Marital status.
Economic status. Amount of education received, I'm sorry. Education. Income. Where you work, where you went to school, which building you work in.
Your neighborhood.
Your neighborhood, zip code, car you drive, car you don't drive. It just goes on and on and on. People get stereotyped for anything and everything. But the one thing I didn't hear, and it usually comes up, is hair color. Do people still get stereotyped based on hair color in today's society? Okay, for time's sake, I'm just going to jump right to the category that many of us might be familiar with. You ever heard stereotypes about blondes? You've heard those. Dumb blondes. The phrase is blondes are dumb. And can you finish this statement? Blondes have more
fun.
Blondes are dumb, blondes have more fun. Now seriously, is there anybody in this room that was your first time ever hearing that? Seriously, you've never heard that before? Every one of you've heard that. Okay, now see, I find that interesting because I'm of a generation, I learned that statement that blondes have more fun when I was a kid growing up. There used to be a commercial for hair color. And I don't remember if it was Clairol or Brett hair color, but it was Clairol. And there was the phrase in this commercial that says, blondes have more fun. And that's how I learned it. I said, okay, blondes have more fun. But that commercial has not been on for decades. At least 30 years, that commercial has not been on. So when I go around and speak and I see younger audience members, people that are of generations that are much younger, where did you learn that? Because that commercial hasn't been on. It's in like 3rd grade, Miss Johnson's class. All right, kids, this week we'll talk about brunettes, and next week blondes. Bring your reports in. What is this stuff? That's culture, folks. This stuff just comes to us. But I want you all to think about those statements. Blondes are dumb, and blondes have more fun. Just think about it. Now get a picture of it. Get a picture of that in your head. Blondes are dumb, blondes have more fun. Do you have a picture of it? Okay, press the pause button. Freeze the frame. Freeze the picture you have in your head. By show of hands, how many of you have the image of a male in your head? Raise your hand.
Exactly.
Not one. Not one person. Now, you know my next question is, are men blonde? Yes. It's been scientifically proven that men are blonde as well. But you see what happens with stereotypes? The power of a stereotype? They make us so inflexible that we can't even think of things differently sometimes. Things that we know to be even true. We know that men are blonde, but the stereotype is so strong that we didn't even think about a whole gender, didn't even think about it. Now that's kind of a funny exercise when you do it, but in the workplace, how does that come to play? Sometimes, maybe people don't get picked for a position or be on a team, or I want to work with this person because I just never thought about that person looking like this. I just never thought of that person having the ability to do that. It was nothing in my mind that made me think of that or even imagine that. And sometimes we miss out on relationships, we miss out on opportunities with things that are right there in front of us, but because the stereotype is so strong, it blinded us to it. We didn't even see it. So the question for you all, and I can't answer this for you, but it's a good question. Every now and then, ask yourself, what else might I be missing in life that's right there in front of me? Because the stereotype has made me so inflexible, I can't even see it.